What I'm about to tell you might freak you out. Your subconscious mind rules 95% of your daily life, meaning you only use your conscious mind 5% of the time. Hi. In today's video, we are going to be talking about 10 weird study tricks and hacks that actually work. And so if you want to get freakishly smart with me, keep on watching. Number 1, a walk to remember. Next time your friend is freaking out about an exam, you can literally tell them to go take a hike. For real though. Studies have found that a 20-minute walk before a test led to an immediate boost in concentration and mental focus. In fact, regular exercise boosts the BDNF chemical, which stands for brain-derived neurotrophic factor, aka that thing that is crucial for the development of new nerve connections and brain tissue in the region of the brain that is responsible for higher reasoning. Number 2. Reprogramming the subconscious mind. Let's start with a small definition of self-affirmation. And I quote, "Self-affirmation refer to behavioral or cognitive events that sustain, support, and strengthen the perceived integrity of the self." It's just a repeated positive statement of your competence. Some psychologists see self-affirmation theory as a form of self-hypnosis, and by listening to this, you might kind of see it as meditation. Call it what you want, but basically, how do you want to become a straight-A student or get that job if your subconscious mind and subconscious thoughts are not in line with your goals and your dreams? Remember, what you think you become. You have the power to dictate what your thoughts should be. Harder said than done, I know. To give you an example, my favorite self-affirmation statement is, "Today I study hard, so tomorrow I can make my difference." Number 3, up close and personal. If you review what you've learned within 24 hours of learning it, you are able to retain more than 80% of the material. Scientists have found that students do significantly better on exams if they review the material closer to the date that they learned it, as opposed to cramming last minute before an exam. So let's say you learn something on Monday and your exam is the following Monday. The most ideal time where you have to start studying is no longer than Wednesday. Remember, keep it as close to when you study it as you can. Number 4, psychological properties of color. Yes, there is such a thing as color psychology, where one studies the effect of different colors on human behavior, perception, and emotion. Now, for students, which color do you think has the most beneficial effects? If you guessed blue, then you're right. Research has found blue to be associated with intelligence, and it has actually been proven that different shades of blue can improve concentration, stimulate thinking, mental clarity, and productivity. So listen up, here's the story about a little guy that lives in a blue world, and all day and all night, and everything he sees is blue, like him, inside and outside. If you know which song I'm trying to sing, leave it on the comments down below and I'll give you a thumbs up. How's that? Props for being a 90s kid, yeah! Number 5, procrastination as self-deception. If you've ever procrastinated, ever, in your life, you, my friend, have engaged in self-deception. Meaning, you try to rationalize something that threatens your self-worth by using weird excuses and kind of like self-sabotaging yourself. A clear example of this is a student that postpones the studying till the very last minute, so then they can justify failing an exam by like, well, I didn't study that much, so that's why I got an F, like, if I had more time to study, I would have done better, versus actually studying a lot and then getting a bad grade. It kind of threatens how you perceive yourself. You're like, oh my god, I studied so much and I got a bad grade. It means I'm the problem. I have no excuse. Why else did I do wrong? Exams test and threaten our self-worth. I'm here to tell you, catch that in yourself and use this quote. Self-respect, self-worth, and self-love start with self. Stop looking outside yourself for your value. Number 6, humor boosts retention. Humor has this magical ability to reduce stress and capture the attention of the brain. And so when you're studying some really boring material, adding a funny twist on the information can actually increase the likelihood of memory storage and retrieval. Because, and I quote, emotion drives attention and attention drives learning. Number 7, the hindsight bias. This refers to seeing the answer to a problem. Makes you think that you knew it all along. So don't fall into this trap. It's actually a thing. Do the problem or try your best to answer the question first and then look up the answer. Trust me, by failing and stumbling, your brain will actually remember more information. Number 8, simulate the required behavior. This is why I keep pushing practice tests on you. It's because they prime your brain to see the material in a test format. And so it simulates, copy-pastes, or mirrors the behavior and the cognitive process of what you are going to be required to do on an exam. In other words, it tells your mind, yeah, hello, yeah, you see all this material you've been trying so hard to remember? Yeah, well, you're gonna apply it, so you better store it in that long-term memory, okay? Because look, I'm using it! Number 9, mere exposure theory. The quote-unquote definition of this is a psychological phenomenon by which people tend to develop a preference for things merely because they are familiar with them. In social psychology, they also call this the familiarity principle. Think about any annoying song you've heard on the radio. When at first you hear it, you're like, oh my god, I can't believe this thing is on the radio, it's horrible, I hate this freaking song. Every time you hear it, it kind of makes you angry a little bit. But then you hear it more, and then you hear it again, and then you hear it again, and you're like, it's not that bad. And then you hear it again, and then again, you're like, oh, you know, I kind of like it, it has a nice beat, I can get it now, I can get it now. Yeah, if that works for marketers, it can work for your study time. Freaky, I know, but hey, if it's gonna get me to like math, why not? I'll do anything. And finally, number 10, elaborative interrogation. It's basically asking why on difficult terms or difficult concepts you don't really understand. The question why encourages you to integrate theory with what you already know. So if you're stuck on a term, let's say cognitive dissonance, ask yourself the question, why does cognitive dissonance happen? By simply using your day-to-day life and your personal experience and what you understand for the material to explain a certain concept, it makes it more personal, and so you're more likely to remember it because it is relevant to you. So that being said, I would like to finish this video with a quote from one of my favorite authors, Edgar Allan Poe, which says, "There is no beauty without some strangeness." Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to me if you like what you see because I post videos every Thursday. Bye guys!